Hi there, and thank you for joining me for this winter solstice flow. So we are going to combine some breath work that's going to activate our parasympathetic nervous system and also our feminine receptive energy. It's going to be left nostril breathing only, so Chandra Vedana. And we're going to do some energizing, rising, sun rising poses and also some grounding shapes. All right, so come to a comfortable cross-legged position. I have a couple of blocks here that I'm going to use for support. If you don't have blocks, grab pillows or anything that you think may work as a good little support. So sitting here in a cross-legged position, we're going to bring our right hand, pointer finger and middle finger to the third eye, so the space between the eyebrows. Your right thumb is gently going to press your right nostril, and the right ring finger is just going to float above the left nostril. So this moon breath is going to be in through the left nostril and out through the left nostril. With the left hand, let's bring thumb and index finger together, turning the palm to face the ceiling. Coming into our breath, soften your gaze or even close your eyes. Let's place that right thumb gently compressing the right nostril and your pointer finger and middle finger at the third eye, that space between your eyebrows. We'll take a nice deep breath in through the left nostril and exhale through the left nostril. Again, nice slow deep breath in. Slow deep breath out. So as we continue with this breath, we're calming our nervous system. Sometimes it helps to count the breath on the way in. And then see if you can equal count on the way out. Let's take 5 more rounds of this calming breath. A winter solstice practice can help to balance that darkness and the light. During this day. After today, it's lighter longer than it is darker. One more breath here. Good. Okay, so release both hands, open palms toward the ceiling. Just breathing normally through both nostrils for a few breaths. Allow your jaw to relax, your shoulders to soften away from the ears. Good. And then open the eyes. We're going to make our way into child's pose. We'll take our knees wide apart, big toes together, allowing this to be a practice where we invite rest into each shape. So if your forehead does not come all the way down to your mat, you can use a block or a pillow or two underneath the forehead. I invite you to soften your elbows onto your mat. Settle your hips back towards your heels. And if that's an uncomfortable shape, You can use pillows underneath your seat to bring your heels closer to your seat, or even come into puppy pose where hips are stacked over top of knees and we soften the chest down toward the mat. Find which shape works best in your body today, in this winter solstice. And breathe. Taking 3 more deep breaths here. Inviting in potential and possibility with every breath in. And with every breath out, letting go of anything that you no longer need. Change of season. Change of energy. Let's rise up into tabletop. Hands directly below the shoulders, knees directly below the hips. We'll take a few cat and cow here. Inhale, lifting your sitting bones toward the ceiling. Broaden across the chest. And exhale, push the earth away, round through the spine. Tuck the tail and tuck the chin. Slow and steady, inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. 2 more like that. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. And exhale. Inhale to a neutral spine. We're going to thread the needle, so let's walk the left hand a little bit further forward. We'll reach the right arm up toward the ceiling, little spine rotation here, and then exhale as you thread the right arm underneath the left, coming down either to the forehead or the temple, side of the head. I've got my left hand pressed into the mat to help support. We want very little weight on the neck on the right side. If it feels better for you, you can walk that left hand a little further overhead toward the top of your mat, maybe tent the fingers. Close your eyes. Again, you can put a pillow underneath your head if the earth just feels a little too far away. Breathing into this twist, creating more space. Two more breaths here. Mindfully walk that left hand closer to the face. Let's push into the left hand. Rise up to table. 1 cat and cow here. Inhale into cow. And exhale, round through the spine. Tuck the tail. Cat. Inhale, back to a neutral spine. Inhale, reach your left arm up toward the ceiling. And then exhale as you thread that left arm through. Coming in to thread the needle on the left side. So forehead may feel more comfortable down, maybe a pillow underneath the head, or the left temple, side of your head. We'll keep the right hand either close to the face or reaching the right arm overhead, tenting the fingers. Fingers making contact with the floor or with your mat. Deep breath here. Three more breaths. Good. Walk walk that right hand back close to the face. Let's push into the palm and come back to tabletop. Inhale into cow and exhale into cat. Good. Let's inhale to a neutral spine. I'm just going to walk my hands a little further forward. We're going to come into downward facing dog. Curl the toes under, send the hips up and back. Pedal out through your dog, bending one knee and then the other. And then find stillness. Let your head be heavy. Slow and steady breath. Let's look forward, bend the knees, and we're just going to step the right foot forward between the hands, rising all the way up into warrior two. It's a little more powerful pose. Thinking about the power of the sun rising. Soften through the shoulders. Actively push into your right heel. Back leg straight and strong. Three more breaths here. Straighten into this right leg. We're going to pivot to the long side of our mat. Hands to the hips, wide-legged forward fold. We'll inhale, lift through the heart. And on your exhale, fold forward. So I got the outer edges of my feet lined up with the skinny edges of my mat. We're going to release the hands down. Now if the floor, again, feels too far away, use a block underneath your hands. Let's inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, just to fold forward. So you can keep the hands on the hips. You can grasp onto opposite ankles or same side ankles. Just folding forward here. Two more breaths. On your inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, just to pause. And then inhale, rise all the way back up. Hands to hips. Turning your left foot to face the back of your mat. Warrior two on the left side. We'll settle into that left leg. Arms extended. Shoulders soft. Push down into your left heel. Push down into that outer blade of your back foot. Three more powerful breaths. Press to straighten this left leg. We'll pivot again to the long side of the mat. And this time we'll interlace the hands at the low back. So that may mean squeezing the palms together. It may mean grabbing onto opposite elbows or even pressing the fists together at your low back. Okay, whatever works for you. We'll inhale, lift through the heart. And exhale, fold forward. And you can use a strap here. I just didn't have one close by. But if you happen to have a strap, grab it. It's another variation of Prasarita Padottanasana, our wide angled forward fold. Let the head be heavy, relax your neck. Three more breaths. On your inhale, slowly rise all the way up to stand. Release your bind, heel toe the feet closer together, and let's pivot to the top of the mat and step to the top of the mat. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up. And on your exhale, float the body forward. We're going to come into bound angle pose. We'll inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, just step back to downward facing dog. And then lower onto your knees. We're going to swing the legs around and come onto our seat. So I've got my 2 blocks, maybe you have 2 pillows. I'm going to use them to support underneath my knees. Bring the soles of your feet together, and then slowly come all the way down onto your back. Arms to cactus arms, or maybe reaching overhead. Let's give some space here to open up through the heart. You can close your eyes. Gentle hip opener. Gentle heart opener. A little bit of grounding. Just take a couple more breaths here. And then when you're ready, reach down for your outer thighs. Let's bring the thighs together. We're going to set up for figure 4 on our back, so we'll cross the right ankle over the left and then squeeze the left thigh into the chest. Lifting that left foot off the floor. Flex your right foot. Another hip opener here. Allow your spine, so your low back right up to the back of your head, feels supported by your mat. If you're feeling like there's extension in your neck, like you're not able to comfortably lay your head on the floor or on the mat, put a pillow underneath your head or your block. Five more breaths here. And slowly release the bind, release the foot down. Let's take the feet mat width apart and just windshield wiper the knees from side to side a few times. And then we'll move it to the other side, crossing the left ankle over the right thigh, gently squeezing right knee in toward the chest. Flex your left foot. Breathing into your outer hip. Soften through your jaw. Deep breath. 5 more breaths here on this side. Slowly release the bind, release that right foot down. I'm going to take my blocks, we're going to come into a supported bridge. I'm taking both of my blocks and placing them underneath my hips. Now if you would prefer to do an active bridge, then please, no blocks, press into your hips. Press into your heels. You'll lift your hips up toward the ceiling. So we can start this way and know that we've got the blocks there to support us if we want to lower down. You can also interlace your hands underneath your low back, or just press your palms into the mat on either side of your hips. This is another active shape, sun rising shape, bringing in the lightness, the energy. If you have blocks underneath your hips and you want to lower your hips down, if they're not already there, taking this gentler bridge shape, feeling supported for 5 more breaths. And then when you're ready, if you have blocks underneath your hips, let's lift them up. Bringing the blocks out and just scooching them off to the side. We're going to take a supine twist, knees over to the right, arms outstretched to a T or maybe to cactus. And if the gaze allows, or if your neck allows, gaze out over your left shoulder. Three more breaths here. On your inhale, draw your knees back through center. Sliding the hips to the right, knees will fall off to the left. Arms outstretched to a T or maybe cactus. Shifting your gaze to look out over the right shoulder this time. Three more breaths. On your inhale, drawing your knees back through center. Let's extend the legs out. Feel free to use your blocks or pillows underneath your thighs for support as we come into final shape, Shavasana. Total relaxation, total grounding here in this final shape for your winter solstice practice today. Please stay here for as long as you can. At the very least, a couple of minutes. Close your eyes. Maybe even take a moment to set an intention for this season, for this day. For the year ahead. If you have more time, please stay in Shavasana. If you'd like to finish with us, you take the blocks out from under the legs. We'll roll over to one side and just slowly make your way up into a comfortable seated position. Coming back to Sukhasana, if that is a shape that works in your body. Bringing the hands into heart center, into Anjali Mudra. Soften the gaze, lengthen through your spine. Showing love and compassion, gratitude and kindness towards yourself first, and kindness toward all those people you meet each and every day. We'll end our practice by folding forward to seal in the goodness and saying together, Namaste.